Psalm chapter 30 David's sword. Verse 7. As soon as the Lord, who protected me with grace stronger than a mountain, turned away from me, I was immediately seized by fear. Verse 9. What benefit is it to you, Lord, if I die? What benefit is it to you, Lord? If I die and am thrown into a pit? Can a handful of dust praise you? Can a handful of dirt spread your truth? David fought with God with a sword. David cannot compete with God. Yet, as a human, David swings his sword at God. Because he is a human. Even if God accepts David's sword, his sword will fall to the ground. How can David, who lost his sword, receive God's sword? As God's sword hesitates, night comes to David. It would be manageable if it were a night before the sun sets and rises, but it is a night without dawn. David speaks for the last time. What benefit is it to you if I die and become a handful of dust? Starting from Psalm chapter 28, I thought about the hierarchy between God and humans, the existence of God, and the projection of human thoughts. Only the question of whether God is within human thought or outside of it remained. I remembered what Pascal said. If you don't know whether God exists or not, make the best choice. Choose that God exists. You can bet on God's existence and lose that bet. However, how great a loss it would be if God exists outside of human thought. One can think enough about which choice would be more miserable and hellish. What is beneficial to God, killing or saving David? What pleasure will God gain by killing David? There is an old saying that a word without feet travels 1,000 miles, and the pen is mightier than the sword. It is true. David struck God with an invisible sword with all his heart, will, and soul for the last time. In this way, David presented his choice to God. Psalm chapter 30 is a temple dedication song. What is the purpose of the temple's existence? The temple is a place where people like David swing an invisible sword towards God. However, these days, places called temples swing their swords not at God but at people. It is an astonishing state of affairs.